Hello out there, my name is Michael Yadao. I'm with Simple Truth Therapy, and I want to welcome you to the Simple Truth Therapy podcast. Now, this podcast is for therapists, for clients seeking therapy, just anyone looking for more information about mental health. Now, today's interview, I'm interviewing Barbara Mullen. She is my supervisor, and she's a great therapist. She is one of the best people I know, and I just wanted to get her insights on how therapy is going, how the profession is going, and her thoughts about its future. So stick around for the interview and have a good day. Thanks.
So, what's up?
Huh?
You weren't sure if it was recording?
Yeah.
No, it just, the screen goes off. But it still is.
So it's recording?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, what are we supposed to talk about?
Well, yeah, just wanted to... I figured a good first question would be, if you see changes in the therapy field and whether or not you like those.
It's like my favorite topic lately, and it's not a popular topic because the way I feel about online therapy is I think it sucks, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm an old hippie, and I remember Marshall McLuhan's book, The Medium is the Message, that every technological intervention between the sender of the message and the receiver of the message makes it colder. Mm-hmm. So things like live theater, live music, people sitting talking to you, things like that was a hot message. Mm-hmm. But every little, telephone would be a sort of hot message, but like text, not so much.
Yeah.
You can't hear the voice. And then Zoom, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I understand if people are bedridden or something, it's good for them. I mean, it's good for people who can't get to therapy in person. Mm-hmm. But I heard a therapist say the other day, I want to smell all my clients when they come in the door. I thought, I know exactly what he means. Yeah. You just want the vibe.
I never thought of it that way.
Emotion resides in the body. Mm-hmm. And, if you can't see the body and can't see what they're, the nonverbals and can't see... Well, the masks drove me crazy, too, because I could only see half faces and couldn't tell if they were smiling, because feelings come up from the lower chakras that come up, and the first place they hit in the face is your chin and mouth. And
it's all covered.
Yeah, it was all covered. It was like, I didn't realize how dependent I was on that, the face, showing emotion.
Yeah, that's interesting to me because I feel like maybe a lot of people, I guess in my age range have, said that it doesn't bother them as much. And I wonder if that's because just different, experience with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've grown up with it.
That's part of it that I feel really stupid about technology, but that isn't the main thing. Is I just don't feel the connection with clients on Zoom. That I see people on Zoom, but I don't feel the connection I do with people sitting here in the room, like we're sitting right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I guess I've had at least what I consider to be connections with people online from when I was a kid.
Sure. Yeah. You guys are used to it. You.
I remember Yahoo Chat and AOL Instant Messenger and all that we, was talking with.
And that's another thing. A lot of clients try to do what is suggested to do with their spouse or their partner or whatever in therapy, and then they text it. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
instead of talking face to face.
yeah, that's gonna be.
And that's chicken shit too. You know, I think that's really cowardly
Sure.
to say difficult things that you have to say to people in a cold. Talk about a cold medium. Text is cold.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid the harder feelings, I guess.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Try to avoid feelings altogether, if you ask me. You men, you have a hard time with saying. When I ask a man how he's feeling, I always get a thought.
Oh yeah. Or just fine or good.
Huh?
Or just fine or good. I get that a lot from kids. Oh, I feel fine.
Yeah. No. This is when men are in here and couples, which I don't really like couples therapy all that much, but when they're in here and it's obviously they're feeling something, angry or, scared or sad, something, and I try to say to a man, so how do you feel? And, I think it would be better if. So what I have been working really hard to try and get men in their bodies when they're even in a couple situation, but individually for sure. Explain to them that feelings are in your body. They're not up here.
Oh, yeah.
So would you please just take a minute right now and, breathe and feel your body and feel where it feels different or what's going on in your body. And, it's amazing because they can get to feelings when they do that.
Yeah.
But it's a new experience for them.
Yeah. You're talking about getting them out of their head. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because a lot of men, I guess, miss that part of their development, being in touch with their bodies.
Yeah.
Their bodies are supposed to destroy things. That's all.
I won't use the F word, but
Sure.
You know what I mean. Either destroy or procreate.
Sure. I should have done this. Should have led off with an introduction. Maybe I could just cut. I could start here with the introduction. I'll just cut and put it in the beginning.
Okay.
What would you like to? How would you like to introduce yourself, Barbara?
My name is Barbara Mullen, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I was originally licensed in California, where I lived before in Humboldt County. And I got my MFT license in 1986.
Nice.
So I went. There was a university at Humboldt. There's a university, and I went back there to get my master's. Mm-hmm. And California is very accustomed to MFTs, so way more so. When I moved to Hawaii, nobody had heard of MFTs. I was looking for a job.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get licensed here because nobody ever heard of it.
So even back then in '86, there was.
No, when I moved here in '90, this is when I moved here when my first grandchild was born in '61 or '62, right before Aniki.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked for. I realized I couldn't go into practice because I couldn't get licensed. So I was looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And the first place I applied was the juvenile jail down the road because it was so close. And they said, we'd like to hire you, but we don't know what we pay you. We have to try and figure out what your equivalency is to a social worker. So anyway, I finally applied at Catholic Charities, and the guy that was doing the hiring was from Santa Cruz. Mm-hmm. So, and he was an MFT, so at least he recognized that I was indeed a professional. And I stayed there for 20-something years.
Nice. Running
the child sex abuse treatment program and a DV program and the general counseling program. I loved it. Catholic Charity is a really nice place to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I was sad that I didn't, things didn't work out for me to work there, because I applied there and they were really excited about me, but something happened. It might have been COVID.
Oh, maybe.
where they got held up, and then the window passed for them to hire me, and they're like, we really liked you. You should apply for something else. But then I'd gotten another job, but they seem nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Those contracts that they had when I was supervising, when I was there, they did. I hate to say it's because of me, but they lost a couple of those contracts when I left.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the Office of Public Safety, because we were doing sex offender groups for them.
Mm-hmm. It's a long time to be doing that kind of work. That's it.
The sex abuse thing?
Yeah, you said you were doing that for like 20 years?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
But, it was I don't know, it was enriching.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I hired somebody or had a practicum student come to do their practicum at Catholic Charities, they all said, I can't work with a sex offender.
Right.
And we were running like 5 groups a week, and
Yeah.
they only were seen in groups,
Mm-hmm.
not individual. And so everybody had to run a sex offender group. But they really changed their minds about that, because the sex offenders had to do a lot of really difficult stuff in groups. They had to role play their victim. They had to, they had to tell everybody what they did and how they groomed. They just had to come clean, right? And eventually, everybody really liked running those groups, because the guys had to be so honest. They had probation. Yeah. We worked with the probation officers, too. Mm-hmm. So that kept them honest.
I imagine it helped humanize them to the therapist, because I hear that a lot, too. It's like, I can never work with the sex abuse or the pedophiles or whatever. I had one, my former roommate was like, he was one of those types that was like, just kill them all. Don't even waste your time on that.
Right, they don't deserve to live.
Okay. But it sounds like you by working with them, it humanizes them.
Yeah.
And realize, they're just folks.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah, and they had their own stuff,
Yeah.
A lot of them feel unworthy and
Sure.
very low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I actually wanted to... That's one of the ones that I wanted to get into. Because I tend to like the ones that everyone says, like, don't do that. That's the hardest one. It tends to attract me more, because I'm like, how hard is it really?
I remember when you were a practicum student at Salvation Army, and you did art with the guys.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a boat hanging up in the office, and then the boat changed.
Yeah.
The different, and it was so obvious that client had transformed from the little sailing boat in danger of being swamped to a streamlined, I don't know, yacht or something. At the end, it was so interesting. And Mike, you used metaphor so beautifully. In your coloring books that Amazon is selling. I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad they're working out. Are they in?
No, they don't fit in there.
I gotta make smaller ones.
They're a good size. They're coloring book size.
Yeah, and they're just 8 by 11.
I did get new colored pencils and new crayons. I do the family drawing with every new client I get, so I had to jazz up my equipment here. I had old crayons, a bag of them.
Those are nice. Yeah, speaking of, getting men in touch with their feelings, I feel like, busting this out on the first or second session, I feel like sets the tone that we're going to be doing.
That's what I do. And you know what? I don't even need to take notes about their childhood or stuff. After I have them do the family drawing, I've got a great picture. When I have them draw the family as animals,
Yeah.
I really think that exercise is, I think all therapists should do that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that exercise you taught me is the only thing I've done consistently with like every client.
Yeah, and I put it in their files, and I remember so much more about who they are and what's going on with them than I would if I had a bunch of notes.
Like a genogram.
Because they have to decide what decisions they made about their survival.
Yeah.
When they were babies, and of course, they don't remember what they decided, but it gets really obvious when they draw the animals, and it's really obvious how they figured out they had to be in that zoo that was their family.
Yeah, it's been a great tool for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I forgot how we got on
yeah.
there. What were you talking about?
I don't know. I was talking about Catholic Charities.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, then I quit. They gave me a big party. They called it a retirement party, and I said, I'm not retiring, I'm quitting. So I opened up where we're sitting now in my office, in my house in Waimanalo. And
it's very cool.
people, I'm only half a block from the beach, so I send clients there a lot when they're kind of upset or something. I say, go to the beach and walk on the beach before you go home.
Okay. Well, can I guess rewind a bit, and I want to ask about, going to be a therapist, or what brought you down that road?
Well, I had done a lot of therapy of my own.
Oh, yeah.
And it really helped me. I loved it, as a matter of fact. Back in those days, we had groups more than anything. And we had them out in the woods sometimes, and over weekends, or people that lived out in the woods. And there was a lot of venting. There was a lot of opportunity to express emotion and vent. We beat pillows with paper rolls, and people could scream if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It was so rich. I wanted to be able to do that.
What were you going to therapy for, if you don't mind?
No, I don't mind, but I can't even remember what started me going to therapy. I think I have 4 children. I think and then I got divorced. And this was all back in St. Louis. That was the early days. But I think I didn't start going to therapy until I moved to California, to Arcata. So it was probably being in a new place. I had wanted to be there because that's where the action was. I was teaching all black kids in St. Louis before that, and I loved it. But then I decided I had to be in California. My students were great. They encouraged me. They said, go.
Because you've done a lot of teaching and therapy. So which one would you prefer out of teaching and therapy?
I prefer teaching.
Yeah.
I love to teach.
Teaching's good.
Which makes being a supervisor fun too, because it's kind of both.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I feel like, because I was doing a lot of teaching at the Salvation Army, the women, with the women there, and I feel like if I could get paid what I do as a therapist, I probably would just do that.
Yeah, you were there, how long were you there? You were there a long time.
Only like a year and a half. It was under 2 years.
You loved doing that too, I remember.
Yeah, it's good.
Of course, you had your own babies.
Yeah.
They were so happy because you put me down as a reference. That's the word. And they were so anxious to get you.
Yeah, that was Amanda. She's great. She became the program director not too long after that. And I'll hope to interview her sometime as well. But yeah, I think she said that talking to you like cemented it for me. So thank you for for
You're
giving me
welcome.
a good recommendation.
I told them that you were unique,
No, sure.
and they should snatch you up.
Let's say, yeah, that was definitely a good experience. It was interesting being the only male staff, but it was good to like feel like it was a good opportunity to give the women there a potential role model, like male role model, to be like, hey, not all men have to be what they were used to.
Well, you're not the ordinary male, Michael.
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, teaching. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love teaching. I love teaching at RSC. I was sad when they closed.
Yeah.
I was teaching on weekends. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm sad we never had you.
No, you were the first cohort I didn't have.
You were done, right?
Because I taught counseling skills and group therapy skills.
Yeah.
So I had every class that went through, I had them for 2 classes. So. But your cohort I didn't get.
Because the cohort before us made you quit, right?
Oh, yes, they did make me quit. They absolutely did.
Well, it's good
Oh, my God.
It's good that we saw you in practicum. Yes.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Yeah.
But I would have had a better time if you were teaching. I think the 2 classes that we got replacements for, I think were 2 of my least favorite teachers.
Yeah, I remember hearing that when I was working with you guys at Salvation Army.
Yeah.
In practicum. So, yeah, I heard who got hired and they weren't popular.
No, but I guess, do you still keep in touch with Joy and Dr.
I am
Seaver
in touch with Joy. I just sent her a text the other day. I thought, why don't I call her and talk to her and, practice what I preach?
Sure.
Because I really like her a lot.
Yeah.
But I am in touch with her. I just don't know. I mean, she's retired from, I don't think she's even in practice. I don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I think she's doing some supervision.
Why don't you retire? Do you want to?
I'm not. No.
Why not?
And because I'm going to do it until I can't remember my clients' names, which might be sooner rather than later, since I'm going to be pretty old.
Yeah.
Next month.
So it's not a financial thing, then you have to.
No.
You just want to for, I guess, keep the wheel spinning.
I like doing therapy. I just like it. I love it, actually. Not with everybody, of course, but that's part of the challenge or the part of what makes it so interesting is that there are some people that walk in and it's instant rapport and instant, people are going to work, and then other people walk in and you think, oh my God, what am I going to do with this person? So
that is fun. I do like that. It's I like the field in the sense that you can, if you want to, you could do it well into your old age.
Yeah, it is really great because I sit. You sit in a comfortable chair.
Yeah.
What's embarrassing is that I'm stiff when I get up.
No. I have a client, she does photography, and she's getting into her 50s, and she said, at this age, it's such a physical job that she just can't do it at her age anymore. Which I didn't realize how physical photography could be when there's lots of
Oh yeah, you have to move around a lot.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. She does a lot of weddings too, so it's high energy, high stress.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the profession she chose is not really sustainable past a certain age. Unless I guess she does like editing, where she could just sit at a computer. But,
Yeah.
But the actual photography part, she can't. She has to do something else. So we picked a good field.
We did for old age.
Yeah.
Well, you're not old, but
No. I feel old.
you're in your prime. No, Michael, you're not old.
I turned 38 this year.
Oh, that's ancient. I'm going to be 90 next month.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
What are you looking forward to the most about being
In my
90?
future or what?
About being 90.
I'm not looking forward to anything about being 90. I just get stiffer every day. I've developed a bad back, and
Okay.
what I miss most is being in the ocean, kayaking and boogie boarding. Because I can't pull my butt back in a kayak anymore if I tip.
Oh yeah. I guess is there anything ocean related you could do that's not
Well, I
gonna put
could
your
get
life
in
danger?
once in a while and just swim around, but I kind of don't. I just, because I miss the other stuff so much, it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I don't go in the water more.
You don't have time.
I do have time. There's something psychological.
Oh, I see.
I'll have to talk to my therapist about it.
Makes it kind of reminds you of what you can't do.
Yeah, maybe. Because I can't do all the fun stuff I used to do in the ocean.
Yeah, I see.
It wasn't that long ago either. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get sad.
Sorry. Okay.
I do. You know what? When I wake up in the middle of the night and think I'm getting old, and I start ruminating about regrets and stuff like that, I do Wordle now.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a whole string of people who are doing, I'm on a chain of people who are doing Wordle, and we can share our Wordles with.
Oh, nice. I haven't really checked on it since the New York Times bought it. So
It's so fun.
yeah. I thought they were going to ruin it, so...
No, they did not ruin it. They're being very careful to keep it as it was.
That's cool. I heard the buzzing. There's a
Oh, yeah, bugs.
fly
Yeah,
caught somewhere.
they get in here. I just noticed a lot of standing water outside in those vases. Mosquitoes are probably proliferating.
Oh, sure. But I like this room. I miss it a lot. It's very comforting. I don't know why.
I know, when we had group supervision in here, it was so great. Now it's on Zoom.
How is that going, by the way? Is it,
It's not nearly the, dynamic that it used to be when everybody was in person.
Yeah.
And because everybody gave each other feedback and learned from each other. That's what I love about groups.
Yeah.
That they
When
practically
we were all
run
here.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, so when it's online, I guess people are like hiding, not trying to contribute.
No, it isn't that. It's like they're distracted.
Oh, yeah.
They might be in bed, or I don't know. I don't know what.
I guess with us,
Driving.
yeah, that's true. Like with us, we started in person, and then we went to
Yeah.
online. The people that you've only seen online, maybe the connection isn't as strong.
It's not. I have everybody that wants to join the group. I said, you have to meet with me in person first.
Okay, so you meet them one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I need to smell them. I love it that guy said that.
But I guess they haven't seen each other in person. They've only seen you in person.
Right. Although one time I had made everybody come here and we went to the beach and did a sand tray.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
That was really fun. And
Yeah.
everybody loved it. And the time just flew by. And everybody said, let's be in person all the time. But nah.
Yeah, I mean, you can now, right? I guess.
Yeah, no, I can insist. I mean,
Yeah, you're the leader.
I am
so.
the head honcho of the group. So
Yeah. You think a lot of people would stop showing up if it was only in person?
I think they'd like it more.
Yeah.
I think they'd show up more faithfully, actually, and they would get a lot more out of it.
I think so too. Even me going so far, it's kind of like it's like a pilgrimage to.
I know.
Like it's not an inconvenience. It's like, you're taking the Saturday morning off. Like putting time aside to.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour
travel.
group. That's an investment. But I think they benefit so much more from it.
Yeah, I think so too. But
you didn't come for the sand tray thing, did you?
No, I missed it.
It was great. I had everybody walk on the beach and find something that represented themselves, and not talk to each other. Just go meditatively find something that called to them, and then they came back and put them all in this big square, evened out sand that Chuck had prepared, and then they all talked about why they picked what they did and how they felt about where they were in the group. It's really interesting.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the supervision thing. Do you know? Because I know that you have to be 2 years licensed, which I recently passed. But so how do you go about getting, like, or being a supervisor? Is there something you have to do?
Well, you mean how do you get them?
Well, how do you become a supervisor? Do you have to apply for something?
It's what you have. You don't have to do this, but you're much more desirable as a supervisor to new people coming into the field here in Hawaii. But to be approved supervisor by LMFT, that's American Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, and to get that, you have to go to a course. All right, they have them on Zoom, I think, now. Supervisor's course. Okay. And then you have to refresh it every 4 or 5 years, I think.
Okay, that sounds good. Because I had no idea how to start, but I'd like to.
That's how people find you.
On AMFT.
Yeah, okay. But you don't have to be an approved supervisor to supervise for licensure.
I see.
So you just have to be licensed for 2 years.
Yeah. So I could technically start right now.
Yeah,
since I'm 2 years.
You could.
I might just do the course anyway, just to be sure.
And you could. Do you have a blurb on Psychology Today?
Yeah, but it's through Explore. So once I finish with them, they're probably going to take me down.
Because you can put that in your blurb that you want to do supervision. You want to have a supervision group.
Okay, I do that. That seems fun. Like I'm kind of really feeling for the new therapist right now, based on my experience and just how in the dark I feel. So I'm like.
You mean because of technology?
Just all of the steps since getting my license has been very hard. I feel like the information isn't readily available, and I don't know if it's purposefully hidden, but it's been hard to navigate.
Like what information?
Mostly, I guess, opening your own practice and all the business stuff and taxes and forming an LLC and all of that stuff. It's been.
That's not hard to do.
Well, once I figured out how to do it, yeah,
But I have a biller.
Yeah.
And I could not live without her.
Yeah.
She does I just every month tell her who is here and their when I initially put them on the sheet, I'd give their diagnosis and whatever their insurance company is. And I get their insurance information, and she has that. And it's all really, really confidential. She doesn't, it's coded practically in email if she has to, or fax.
No.
I've had her as my biller for her 15 years, and I count on her, and I have never met the woman.
It's a cool relationship.
Yeah, but I couldn't be doing this without her.
Yeah, that's cool. Is she taking new people? Maybe I could use a biller.
You want to know her name?
Sure.
Tamara Mesnerich.
Okay. I would write it down, but the phone is recorded.
Okay.
I would write it in my phone.
Okay.
But I guess text it to me.
I'll text you her info.
Yeah, I don't know how long we've been talking.
I don't know. It's been pleasant to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I was afraid you were going to want the story of my life or something.
Oh, no, I mean, I guess, yeah, that would be a little bit more informal, I guess.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep it real informal.
Yeah, this is great. Just talking with you is perfect. I'm glad I don't have to tell the story of my life.
Yeah. It's a long story.
I'll say. About as long as you can get.
Yeah. Any, I guess that was the main thing. I know you had pretty strong opinions on how therapy is changing, so I wanted to get that from
So
you.
did Joy. So does Joy. That's why they dissolved a local chapter of LMFT and formed their own organization because she went to a conference and realized that they were headed for all online
That's
stuff.
even before the pandemic too.
Yeah, right, that's right. It was before the pandemic.
So then things kind of was forced in that direction because of the pandemic. So, and she's, I guess, more of a traditionalist, want to focus on the face-to-face, in person.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking for myself.
Sure. Yeah, there's some people who just only do online, and
yeah, a lot of people are just doing online now.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for certain populations that might work for them, but for me, since I work with kids, I can't do that.
That's good that you can't.
Yeah, it kind of forces me to have an office.
I think it's so important that you're working with kids. I only know one other therapist who works with kids all the time, and I think she's really important too.
Yeah, I was surprised at how many people don't want to see kids.
Yeah, I've always been a little surprised at that, but it is true. Most people say they don't want to see kids.
Yeah, I mean it's hard in a way, but it's also easy.
Yeah, just play with them.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And I think I realized not too long ago, I guess the reason why I like it is because I don't have to pretend to be into what they're into, because I just am into what they're into. So,
Well, because you have kids of your own, or
no, just my interests are kind of aligned with theirs. Pretty much any kid that I see between 6 and even 15, they're playing either Roblox, Minecraft, or Fortnite, or any of those video games.
I know how to do the floss.
Yeah.
That's my knowledge of those games.
Yeah, I'm sure the kids will be impressed. But all I really have to do is play those games with them, and they're I feel like it's much easier to gain their trust once you show interest in what they.
It sounds like you have a funner day than I do.
Sometimes, yes.
Playing with them.
Sometimes depending on the kid, I'll just be playing Roblox with them and hanging out, and other times it's more heavy stuff going.
Yeah. I think you're great with kids, Michael.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think so too.
No, you are. That's for sure.
Before working with the special needs kids, kind of similar, just they'll have a magazine. It's video games on the magazine. Then I have a in through that, just finding something that they have interest in, and asking them about it. Oh, you have a Pokemon thing on your bag. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
And all of a sudden you get a relationship going.
And then, I always have to bring up that, they're up to 1,000 Pokemon now, and I only know the first 150, the first generation. So
how many? I didn't know there were a lot of different Pokemon.
Yeah, each generation they add 100 or 200 or something.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So when they first came in,
I'm
it
so
was
stupid.
it was 151, and then they've been adding since then. But I only know the first generation because I stopped following it after that. But you know, I kind of bring that up.
Now you have anime because you have a shirt on with anime on it.
I've always, well, not always loved anime, but yeah, that's another thing I connect with the kids on. They like anime. A lot of the younger kids are really into K-pop, which I'm not really into.
Into what?
K-pop, the Korean pop.
Oh, I like the BTS. That is. Oh, I love them too.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
See, I'm modern.
they're good, but I'm not familiar with their music. So I try to connect, you know, as much as I can, but I haven't been able to on the K-pop stuff.
But you rap.
I do, yeah.
So you're pretty into the music scene.
I'm into music, yeah, but yeah. I think I showed one of my clients one of my songs. She wasn't impressed. So I was like, I figured. But she's like 7. I didn't show her the rap stuff, the instrumental stuff.
The teenagers would like it better, probably.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah. I guess any final thouts for?
No, I'm really glad you came over to talk today. I miss you.
No, I miss you as well. I kind of sucks because I usually have a client at 9 on Saturdays, so I'm usually not able to attend.
And I love it when you come on. When Chuck comes on, it's great too.
Yeah.
All your graduates.
I would like to, as much as possible. But if there was another time, maybe you should open up another time.
I've thought about doing an evening group.
Okay. It would be fun.
That would be maybe not 3 hours, but maybe a couple hours.
Sure, yeah.
Some evening instead of watching Netflix. I have thought about it because some people have clients like Kyoko. Did you meet her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She works at a clinic, and they keep giving her clients at 9 and 10 o'clock on Saturday mornings, so she can't.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant at night on Sunday.
Huh?
I thought you were going to say 9 and 10 p.m., and I was like...
No, in the morning. So she can't. So an evening group would be good for her. For
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, if you do, I don't want to, stress you too much.
Well, it doesn't stress me. I love this work.
Oh, that's good.
I'd rather do this than watch television.
That's surprising. So.
By the way, have you seen Begin Again?
No.
It's the best movie I've seen in a long time.
No.
It's by the same director as Once. Do you remember Once? It was two Irish young musicians wandering around Dublin or something.
No, I haven't seen that. Okay. So it's called Begin Again?
Begin Again. It's so wonderful. It's got Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley, Adam Levine, James Corden, all the people who love music.
Okay. Check that out.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times, and I can sing the song, a couple of her songs. She's the songwriter in it. So.
Keira Knightley?
Yeah.
Oh. But she doesn't sing, though, right? Or
she does. She sings in the movie.
I didn't know she was a singer.
But then they produce her. Oh, you have to see it. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. See it.
Okay. Can I Venmo you get supervision? Because I feel like I should pay you for your time.
When? What do you mean? This?
Yeah.
No way.
I took some hours of your life.
No. Are you kidding? This is a total pleasure.
Hi, this is Michael Yadal from the Simple Truth Therapy Podcast. Thank you for checking out today's show. If you want to learn more about therapy, mental health, all that stuff, check out my website, simpletruttherapy.com. And thank you very much. Have a good day.